There is a moment in every life when you decide to rise, to stand taller than your fear, to speak louder than your doubt, to chase the vision that sets your soul on fire. This is that moment. And here, we walk it together with stories that awaken, voices that inspire, and truths that set you free. This is Positive Talk with Kevin McDonald, where hope has a voice, and that voice is yours. And welcome, everybody. And in this case, that voice may be that of AI or something like that. And we've got a great guest for you today. He's going to make you think, and he's got a new product that's been out. He was on the show before, and right after he did the show, the product came out. It is called KBiz Systems, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about AI and where it's going and all the things that it's going to do and stuff like that. So, Alan, welcome to the show. Alan Imbarrato.
There you go. You got it.
Into something or other. Imbarrato, and he's the owner and the founder of KBiz Systems. He's been doing entrepreneurial stuff since the 80s. So he was doing it when he was very, very young, because he looks only like he's about 30 now. So he was like, so maybe a little older. And so, Alan, welcome to the show. How are you?
Great. Thanks for having me, Kevin. It's good to be back.
Yes, indeed. Well, welcome back. And you are one of these cutting edge kind of fellows. How did you get into cutting edge thoughts and things? And you're always working to develop new things.
Well, I don't know how far you want to go back, but when I was in college, the Vietnam War was happening, and I got very involved in protesting that war. So I became very involved in the peace movement. So I sort of broke away from the normal path and dropped out of college and got very involved in protesting that war. And one thing led to the other in terms of exploring, like, back in the 60s, in the 70s, everything became questionable in terms of, what this is all about. So I started exploring different things, and I led to a different kind of lifestyle, and I ended up joining an ashram and following and learning meditation. That I spent like 10 years doing that, teaching meditation, learning meditation, studying it. And then when I was ready, I created my own company called KiBiz Systems. And at the time, I was very involved in creating a transformational seminar called Winning at Work at Life that helped people understand how not only to win at work, but also to win at life. And while I was doing that, I got very involved in the first Macs that came out, and I started learning all about software. And I eventually developed a new part of my business, creating software.
And Alan, before we get into all of that, because you were around, you're a seasoned guy like me. And I remember the 60s, and I remember 1968 with Bobby Kennedy's assassination and Martin Luther King and Kent State and the all the things that were going on there. And I was thinking to myself over the last couple of weeks that what's going on today kind of reminds me of that, but it seems to be a lot more hateful today than it was then, or maybe I just wasn't that involved. So how does the war protests and the things that were going on in 68 and 69 and the summer of love and all that kind of good stuff in the late 60s, how does that compare with what's going on today? Is there any comparison at all?
It's actually a good point, Kevin. Yes, we have to stand up. We have to protest. We have to understand our core principles and our core values, like, freedom of speech. And back then there was the free speech movement. I don't know if you remember that.
Yep.
I went to Berkeley right after that, and
You were in the center of it in Berkeley.
yes, um, so there was a lot of it took a lot of courage. It took a lot of uh, integrity to stand up to various principles, but we really need that today for people to really remember what we really stand for and what we really want to see happening, rather than allowing some of these freedoms to be impinged upon.
I'm pretty convinced that if you push the American people far enough, they will say that's enough. This thing that went on with Jimmy Kimmel and the canceling his shows because he was saying something that somebody didn't like. I always have thought that that was a basic right of being a U.S. citizen, is that we had freedom of speech and we could share our thoughts freely without worrying about somebody coming back and holding us accountable in their way of thinking for it and getting us fired. And I've known several professors that in the last couple 3 weeks that have been let go because of something that they wrote. And I don't think that's I guess my point is I think that you can push the American people so far, but they will react and they will respond in accordingly, which is how Jimmy Kimmel ended up back on the air.
Yeah, yeah, people really stood up. A lot of people from all walks of life, even people on the right. I mean, what's ironic is that Charlie Kirk was one of the biggest proponents of free speech, and that he was sitting there inviting opposing points of view while he got shot. And he was really encouraging dialogue and exchange of ideas. And I think that's what we really need to do, is really understand. I have lots of friends who are opposing my point of view, but we're still friends and we still talk, and we still respect each other, and we just have to work through this as a country and really find ways that we can bridge the gaps that we have.
I couldn't agree more because the hate, division, and fear that's going on serves no one. Doesn't serve the left, doesn't serve the right, doesn't serve the middle, and we are not going to get to where we need to go until we decide that it's okay if you and I don't agree. We can still treat you like a good person and a good human being because you believe what you believe. Do you believe that?
Yeah, I liked what that the governor of Utah said. It's like we have to get better at disagreeing, develop our skills of how to handle disagreements. I mean, that's what made us stand out. That's what most people around the world used to respect us for, is that they didn't have free speech in their country, and they looked to America because that's one of our core values. That's like the First Amendment. So, I mean, having a podcast and having the ability like now where we can talk and express our views, that's crucial to a democratic society.
And I remember Ronald Reagan and Tip O'Neill, and they were one was the president, obviously, of the United States, and the other one was the leader of in Congress. And they would fight like cats and dogs during the day, and then they would go out and have a drink afterwards, and they would be able to talk and exchange ideas, and some really good things came out of that. We need to get back to that, where you don't demonize somebody who doesn't agree with you, that you work together to find common ground. Does that make sense?
Exactly. John McCain was,
Exactly, a
a
great
really
example.
good example of that. He really, had great dialogues. I mean, he ran for president against Obama, but they still really respected each other. When someone tried to, denigrate Obama, he stood up and corrected her. I remember that. That was really great.
That was a major thing because she was saying, "Oh, he's from Kenya and he's done da 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 and all this stuff," and he said, "No, no, he's a fine man. We just disagree, and it's okay to disagree without becoming disagreeable."
or violent.
Well, that would also be true, and and the violence thing is it's beyond control in this country. I don't know how we're going to fix that, but it does need to get fixed. But okay, enough of that. I just wanted your take on if what was going on in the late '60s is kind of comparable to what's happening today, and I kind of think it is.
I think it's even more crucial today. I mean, I used to not very much like Nixon, and I would go, to the a few times to the Nixon White House on the West Coast, but Nixon, it seems mild compared to what we're dealing with today.
You know, we talk about Watergate and we talk about Nixon and what happened back then. I'm not even sure in today's environment that that would make the front page news.
Okay.
All the stuff that went on back there because there's so much more happening here. I just hope that the American people decide enough is enough. We are going to work together. We are going to get this gun thing under control. We are going to start to talking together and not hating each other and stuff. So I'm glad that you and I agree. That's a given. So that works. But Alan, you've got a company now, and you've had this company for a while. It's kbizsystems.com, and you can go there because it's got a CRM. I said that right?
Yes, you did.
And you help businesses get organized using AI and other tools that you have. And correct, stop me if I'm wrong in any of this. And that it makes it more streamlined and easier for a company to deal with all the intricacies of all the things they've got to worry about to make it better for the company and make it easier to operate. Am I wrong in any of that?
No, that's definitely a problem. People to these days are using 6 to 20 different programs to run their business, but they don't talk to each other. They're disconnected. They're like data silos, and there's a lot of double data entry or workarounds or ways to try to get them all to work more efficiently together. And it causes a lot of inefficiencies. So we have a program that connects all the different data sources in a company and runs every aspect of a company from the contact management, the sales, purchasing, the inventory, the accounting, the invoicing, uh, the production management, the manufacturing, event management, e-commerce. Our program has a platform that ties everything together so that
Well,
everyone can work from the same uh, reference point and coordinate all their activities in the company.
and I'm thinking about the little company, and I mean little company that I operate. I've got 5 people that I work with, and I was just going through my mind all of the different things that we use. We use, as an example, Slack. Are you familiar? You're familiar with Slack,
Yes,
which is a communication tool,
right,
so that we can communicate with everybody on the team. And then we've got QuickBooks,
right,
so that we can manage all the QuickBooks stuff. I've got
right,
both PayPal and Stripe, and I also use a company called Wise because I have a couple of folks overseas. And so I'm thinking to myself, I got 5 or 6 or 7 of these different things, and they are totally unrelated from one to the other.
right.
Is there a way using KBiz systems that I can kind of coordinate and put them all together?
Exactly. That's the idea. Is there's a thing called API that enables you to have different hooks into each program so that you can move data from one to another. So you can either pull data into a hub, which is like Kiva's systems, is like the hub, and then you can go out and communicate to like Excel or Google Sheets or Slack or different project management programs or different manufacturing programs, and you can bring all the data together in one place to get more coherent reports. And then you can use AI to help give you intelligence and help you make better decisions by having the data all in one place. But a lot of times, if you have your financial data over in QuickBooks, but you have all your inventory and your invoicing and your sales and your purchasing on another program, you can't really do the analysis to inform you to make better business decisions.
And also, each one of these programs costs money. And so you end up spend. So I'm just thinking, going through my mind, that I've got 5 or 6 or 7 of these, and each one is 30, 40, $50 a month. And so therefore, if I've got that adds up to a great deal of a lot of money. And I'm also discombobulated because they're not talking to each other.
Exactly. That the opportunity of having one platform, because our platform can be accessed on a mobile device, can be accessed from the cloud. So if you have people, remote workers, or you have people like you're saying, other parts of the world, everyone can tap into and work with the same set of data. So if you're wanting to track customer history, or one person is sick, another person can pick up where the other left off. It helps coordinate and make your team a lot more cohesive and efficient, so things don't get dropped and fall into cracks. And, "Oh, I thought you were gonna do this," or, "I thought you were gonna do this." There's a log and a way to track everything so everybody knows exactly where things stand and have a status, and then you can make better decisions and coordinate activities better.
And by the way, we're talking with Alan from KBiz Systems. He's actually the founder and the head bottle washer and the CEO and all that kind of good stuff. And if you want to go to their website, you can, which is kbizsystems.com. Hey, that's easy. I can even figure that out. We need to take a quick break, and this break that we're going to take, Alan, is about the Brushwood Media Network, which we are part of, and their app that they have. And I did not realize this, but yeah, and you go back as far as I do. You remember transistor radios when they had the local radio station and you had the little earbuds and stuff back in the 60s and early 70s. Well, now people are taking their smartphones, all 7 billion of them, and they're plugging into the same type of thing where they can listen to shows. So let me play this and get the Brushwood Media app. Are you looking for your daily dose of inspiration? Stay connected to all your favorite shows, music, and news with the Brushwood Media Network app. From Positive Talk Radio to Greatest Vibes Unplugged and so many more uplifting voices around the world, everything you need is right in one place. It's easy to use, too. Always available and designed to keep you inspired 24 hours a day. Go to brushwoodmedianetwork.com and download the app, and you will always have Brushwood Media available on your smartphone. Download it now and make inspiration and music and conversation part of your everyday. And welcome back to Positive Talk. My name is Kevin McDonald, and by the way, Alan, I have to tell you, and the last time you were here, I wasn't doing this, but I am now on the Brushwood Media Network. I also have a music show, and it's a Monday through Friday. It's an hour long at 9 a.m. Eastern. And what I've discovered, and you'll appreciate this, songs like like "Let It Be" and "She's Gone" by the Eagles, and "Bridge Over Troubled Waters" and stuff. You know what I'm discovering? That there are younger people who have never heard some of these classic songs
Oh,
from
wow.
when you and I were younger. And they're like, wow, I've never heard that one before. What is that one like? And it really is, it's interesting
Oh,
how.
I'm glad you're doing that. That's great.
Well, thank you. And it's called Greatest Vibes Unplugged, and we do it at 9 a.m. Monday through Friday. But I wanted, so in talking with KBiz Systems, it is some you spent a long time developing this, and AI helped you, and now you're in, and there's your kitty cat too.
No, that's my dog.
Oh,
He's
is that a
playing with
dog? Say
yeah,
hello. Oh, he's gorgeous. Is it he or she?
he. Yeah, he's looking
What's
for his walk. He wants to go for a walk.
it's time, Dad. We gotta go for a walk now. Which is really cool. How long have you spent developing this program that is out there now?
Well, we started in 1996. I'm dating myself, and I had my first clients were like uh, working with Amgen, which is a biotech company that lives right near me, and I work with Disney, and I work with a lot of other companies, and then I developed the system for small businesses, and I've been evolving it and developing it. I was the developer initially, but now I have a team of 15 developers worldwide. We have clients worldwide that we run their entire businesses. We run like a point of sale for a 60 store chain that goes from China, Singapore, Japan, Korea, 35 stores in the United States, and three in Canada. So we have manufacturing clients. We run home manufacturing operations. We run professional services. We run distributors. The thing is what we do is we have like a platform, but then we customize it. So many times people get very frustrated because they're trying to fit their business into the software and they have to work around and they have to get all these other programs to fill in the gaps. But we work with companies and we customize it exactly the way they want to. And now with AI, we're completely transforming a whole process to automate it even further and inject AI workflows that really enhance and streamline the operation even more. So we sort of combine software with AI to transform business processes to work at a much higher level of efficiency.
Am I correct in assuming that when AI is plugged into the situation and it operates for a period of time, it gets a little smarter about these systems and can offer more opportunities for streamlining and creativity and that kind of stuff? Are we there yet?
Yes, we are. We are there. We have a program called Key AI, and what it does is it takes uh, data from your system, sales data, purchasing data, accounting data, and enables you to just start chatting with it and say, "Give me a report of all the sales in this region by this person during this time period," and it just creates a report for you on the fly. And then in seconds, it can create a pie chart, a donut chart, a bar chart, and then it can give you insights into what those charts and those reports are telling you. So it gives you instant business intelligence based on the data from all your transactions in your front end. So it's really adds a another level of intelligence and analysis. It's like analytics is really big. I don't know if you follow baseball, but
Oh,
baseball
yes.
is been completely transformed by analytics,
Yep.
and they have a statistic for everything. So the thing is most people in their business are just involved in surviving and keeping their business afloat, and just basically trying to get through the workday, and they don't have time to do the analytics, or they send all their reports over to an accountant, so they don't really know whether they're making a profit or not until they get their end of the year reports. But now with this, you can get reports within minutes just by chatting with your data and say, what was the profit we made last month, or what are all our outstanding receivables, or how much money do people owe us, or who are all the people that are 90 days overdue and that we need, and then it can send out statements automatically to these people.
I can tell you this, being a former sales manager, that there are salespeople who tend to hide, and this kind of doesn't let them hide anymore because the numbers are really there. If you're comparing salesman A to salesman B and what they're generating, it becomes pretty apparent who's working and who's not.
Yeah, that's one use of it, but the main use is to find the gaps and see who needs coaching, who needs improvement, and where the areas of improvement can be. So you don't really, if you can't measure it, then you can't get better.
Correct.
So the data informs you and shows you what's missing or what our blind spots are. It's like if you're driving down the road in a car, now on a vehicle, it just beeps you or light goes off in your blind spot. And so that's what data analytics in a database like this that ties all the data together. If your data is all in data silos and doesn't talk to each other, you don't really know where the blind spots are.
No, because and as things go on, you look at your expenses, but unless you take a lot of time to put it onto QuickBooks and to really manage that, which is time consuming to do all of that, then you don't really know if you're being profitable or not, or what your bottom line is, or how much do you need to make to be profitable and stuff like that. So it makes it very challenging. So this makes it a lot easier for us to manage our business on the back end side so that we can concentrate on the front end side more so. Is that right?
That's exactly it. The front end and the back end have to talk to each other. It's like if you are trying to determine your profitability on a project, if you have a bunch of stuff in QuickBooks of expenses, you go to Home Depot or you have a bunch of credit card stuff, but you don't tie that to the job and the estimate on the front end, you don't really know if you're making a profit on that project or not. So the important thing is to be able to have a place where it all accumulates into one view and a dashboard, and then you can just see your metrics and how well you're performing according to the milestones and according to what your estimate was.
And I was looking at your website, and the product itself is very reasonably priced, and you've sold. Yeah, it's been out there, and you tell me just a little bit ago that it's been downloaded well over 30,000 times.
Okay, we're mixing up two things. My
Oh,
app,
okay.
my app KiFlow, which we talked about in the last podcast, which is about transforming stress into a strength and flow. That's been downloaded 30,000 times from the app stores. Kiba's Systems has been around for over 30 years, and we've had hundreds and thousands of users and evolved. Now we're about to release Kiba's 10, the 10th version. But yes, it's a very affordable ERP CRM accounting software that is comparable in features to Salesforce or NetSuite or some of these other programs, but it's much easier to customize. It's not. It's like Salesforce or NetSuite live in the cloud, and if you want to customize it, you have to pay a lot of money, and it takes a long time. Whereas we are based in FileMaker Pro, which is owned by Apple, and it can be localized, and you can own the whole system and customize it exactly the way you want to. So we sell it open, and people, if they want to change a report or change a layout or do that, they can, or they can use our team to customize it. They can just tell us, could you do this or could you do that? So you don't necessarily have to continue to just fit into like what Salesforce does. You can exactly make it the way your business runs.
Well, and you can marry the expense side with the income side and all that kind of stuff, so that you have a better idea of if you're, because sometimes, as you know, Alan, you don't know you're going broke until the end of the year.
Exactly. Most small businesses fail after 3 years. I don't know if you know that statistic, but it's like
Oh yeah, and in the restaurant business, it's even worse. It's like 95% don't make it out of a year. But it's anyway.
so it's all
Um,
important in terms of what making adjustments. It's just like, in a sports team, like a basketball team, they'll go back and they'll watch film. Or a football team spends 6 days practicing and 1 day on the field. In business, we're just always doing, 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 but very little reflection is going on to make the adjustments you need to succeed and get better all the time and improve your business. So that's why you need these uh, what are called KPIs, key performance indicators or metrics, and a dashboard to keep a pulse on your business and to see exactly where it's going and not have to wait to the end of the year to get your financial reports.
Exactly, exactly. And when we come back from this break, because I do want to retouch on what you're doing with the other product that you have out there. Don't you like have a social life, and aren't you ready to retire?
I play pickleball 3 times a week.
Good for
I
you.
I don't work on the weekends. I have a team managed company, so my team manages things while I just think of work on creating new products.
It's a good job if you can get it, but you've spent 40 years to get it. So good for you. Congratulations. We need to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about KiFlow. Is that right?
Yes.
And that is a really cool idea as well. And it has a meditative component to it, and all of that, so that you can lower your stress. And as I remember correctly, but Alan's going to talk about it, and we're gonna delve into that when we come back. You're listening again to Positive Talk right here on the Brushwood Media Network.
You're listening to Brushwood Media Network, the best in syndicated talk, news, and entertainment shows.
Here are some points to ponder from Positive Talk Radio. You know, some say leadership is about getting the work done, about pushing forward, no matter the cost. But what's the cost of a team with no purpose? What if a single act of support, a single moment of genuine grit could change everything? What if leadership was a catalyst? Because true leadership isn't about being in control. It's about empowering others to find their purpose. It's about leading with passion and igniting the fire in everyone around you, creating a culture of teamwork and common purpose. A true leader finds this culture by enthusiastic purpose and team development, making each team member feel empowered to create, improve, and execute their tasks with genuine passion and a strong belief in the company's mission and focus. In other words, lead with purpose. And welcome back, everybody. We're talking with Alan Imbarrato. Alan, give me your last name, please. I screwed it up again.
You had it good before. Imbarrato.
Imbarrato. I'm old. My memory is kind of short, but Alan Imbarrato, and he is one of those guys who just sits around and thinks up stuff. And then he goes about to creating it and stuff. And you created a product. And tell us about KiFlow a little bit, if you would.
Key means life energy, and obviously flow is all about uh, entering into what is called the flow state, where you're in a calm, centered, creative place. But most of the time, we're in a stress state. Our stress response system is like an archaic Stone Age operating system that got created millions of years ago to protect us from lions, bears, and tigers for physical threats. But now it keeps getting triggered by social threats, uh, uh, an angry client, or an abusive boss, or a deadline, or uh, uh, just anything could trigger it. Social media, getting a bad phone call. We're constantly on guard, getting triggered because we don't feel safe. These are called social threats. So we have these social survival strategies that we developed in childhood to get approval and to be right and to survive, to fit in, that we don't want to stick out. And so we slowly have used these strategies over time, and we keep repeating these strategies to not create waves, to play it safe, or we want to have certainty, to be right all the time and make other people wrong, or we want to just look good and get approval and get attention. All these strategies are not serving us anymore. Maybe they got us through childhood, but now they're interfering with us performing as adults to get the results and the outcomes we want in our life and to live on purpose, like you were just saying, that we need to align with our higher self. But we keep getting hijacked by our stress response system. So this app is that we've developed an AI avatar called KiFlow, which is like a AI coach that helps you get clear on what's triggering your stress. Usually, there's a fear that made you feel unsafe. And when you identify that fear, it frees you up to then get back to your center and reclaim your power and act more intentionally rather than be in a reactive fight, flight, freeze mode.
And regaining your power is a big deal because we tend to spend our whole life giving our power away to other people.
Exactly. That's what we learned in childhood. It's because we grew up with these big adults and we had to please them. We had no center or discrimination, or our prefrontal cortex in our brain hadn't really fully developed. So we were in a very vulnerable state. So we just learned to please. We learned to get approval. We learned to get attention and fit in what our parents wanted us to do, what our teachers wanted, what our friends wanted. And we didn't really have a sense of what we wanted and what we were passionate about. So that's the whole point of growing up and being an adult, is getting in touch with your purpose, like you were saying, and understanding what you're here for and what you have, what contribution. Instead of shutting yourself down and being afraid to play big, we learned how to play small.
A lot of people feel like, oh no, I can't get out of line. I'll just stay in my lane and I'll just do what I'm here supposed to do and stuff. And that's how we get trapped into the golden handcuffs, the job. We make enough money, we don't like it particularly well. It doesn't serve us, it doesn't serve our soul, but if we make too much money to quit, and so we stay doing that. But what it does is it ends up retarding our growth, and so we don't grow anymore and we don't understand how to get out of that, because we're programmed into it. And from what I'm hearing, this helps you get unprogrammed so that you can live your best life. Would that am I close?
Exactly. We're giving you a tool to change the programs. Instead of having these social survival programs, we're teaching you how to empower yourself and develop self mastery, self empowerment, self acceptance, self trust. Those are the core strengths that we all have that are being covered up by spending so much time in these pleasing strategies, in these, we're trying to control other people. That approval and control are the ways that we have learned to survive. But really, it's living more creatively. So we have to activate that part of our brain. So we have to reprogram. It's like what we have these different wires, and it's called neuroplasticity that gives you the freedom to create new neural pathways. So what triggers us, what fires together wires together. So we have to rewire our brain. And this is what our app does, is it takes you through a 4-step process to reprogram your brain to act in a much more productive way rather than continuing in the cycle of stress. I mean, stress is a serious thing, Kevin. It's
I
like
know.
if you don't deal with your stress, the problem with it is like a smoke alarm. Okay. It's like a smoke alarm is designed to just go off when there's a fire. Okay. But if you have like the toaster and you burn the toast, it'll go off temporarily, but then it'll turn off. We have this thing called an amygdala in our brain. It's our alarm system. But the problem is it doesn't turn off. It just keeps getting triggered and releasing cortisol and adrenaline and creating inflammation in our body. And this inflammation just keeps going on and creates chronic uh, stress and chronic disease, which eventually kills you. So stress is called the silent killer because it just over time shuts down your immune system, creates all sorts of internal problems. So we have to basically begin to face it. Most people don't want to face being uncomfortable and deal with the stressful feelings. So their first response is, okay, I got to take a drink, or I got to smoke, or I got to take a drug, or I got to go run, or I got to do something to change the body sensation. But mindfulness, which is the basis of our app, teaches you to just learn how to be with the discomfort in your body, to discover that stress is a signal, to inquire, to find out what got triggered so that you can become stronger mentally and emotionally and physically and spiritually by understanding what that was about. And underlying it, it's like underlying we have these limiting core beliefs that we're not good enough, or we're not pretty enough, or we're not smart enough, or we're not competent, that we got programmed. And so what you were saying before is we need to change that program and not believe what we ended up believing as a child, and reparent ourselves as an adult to discern what do we want to believe about ourselves now.
The interesting thing, Alan, is that I drove a bus for 12 years. And there are lots of, I don't know when the last time you drove or rode a bus was, but there are lots of bus drivers that do not like what they do. They're not very happy. It's very stressful and so forth. And I just, in the course of my 12 years, I can't tell you the number of people who either died while still working or died right after retirement because of the amount of stress that they were going through, the unresolved stress that did lead to a lot of alcohol and a lot of different things, which had its own problems all by itself. But they would drive 50, 60 hours a week to make enough money to make everybody at home happy, but they were unhappy and they had no job satisfaction because they hated what they did, but they just shut up and did it because they made too much money, and it ended up killing these people. And that's what happens to people, isn't it?
You nailed it. That is the problem we're trying to solve, Kevin, is that people put up with all this stress because they don't have the tools. No one taught them the skill. We call it stress resilience, the ability to bounce back, to go back to your center and get more aligned with your true self, your authentic self. But if you're constantly in a survival mode in your brain, you're constantly activating inflammation in your body, which does lead to all these serious diseases.
And it's crazy that we put ourselves through that. I know lots of friends of mine that will say, "No, I can't quit because I make too much," and but they're unhappy. They're unhappy with life, and that leads to unhappiness at home. And the poor dog gets kicked, and the kids get yelled at. And by the way, you have a beautiful dog, by the way, and I know you don't kick your dog because you are not stressed out all the time. But that's 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 what happens to all not all of us but a lot of us. And so this app helps you, and I'll bet you it would even help a bus driver in between his runs to use the app just to calm down and relax and go into a bit of a meditative idea and format, just to calm everything down and to recenter himself, because it just stands to reason that'll work. I wanted to ask you now. I need to take a real quick break. Well, I can do this before the break. Now, you have also incorporated AI into that. Does that make the app in kind of a little bit more intelligent? So as you use it, it can then become more in tune with your own personal situation to help you deal with your own personal stress levels based upon what you're doing?
Yes, that's the whole idea. Is it's a very personalized environment. 24/7, it can be there for you and get to know you. And you have a series of what we call stress shifts, and it can get to know where your core beliefs have caused you to create results that you don't want in the past. And it sort of builds a history of all your shifts, and it keeps nudging you along to grow stronger. And it's very anonymous. It's like it's not to replace a therapist, but it's like in between. If it's like 12 o'clock at night and you have a bad experience, You just pick up your app, or during the day, you're in a bad work situation. You pick up your app, and within a few minutes, you can create a shift and get back into your center because your app is familiar with you and knowing what your patterns are.
I got to ask you, there's some people, I have a personal friend who her stress, her PTSD, and some of the things that she's gone through in the past manifests itself with crazy and sometimes terrifying dreams. Is this something that can help with some of that by centering your system, and you become more centered before you go to sleep, and so you're not creating this kind of stuff? And I don't know anything about how dreams get
Well,
created, but I'm curious.
there's a great app I have that analyzes your dreams. It's called uh, Tremonos, but you know, that's the kind of thing, is that people can come into our app and tell any story. I just had a bad dream, this, and that. And then the AI will pick up on that and try to help you understand what's going on. Or you just tell your story, whether it's in a dream or whatever. It's your subconscious trying to get you back into alignment with your true self. It's like, I don't know, for me, I pay attention to my dreams. My dreams is always giving me really good information to help me understand a little bit more what my blind spots are. And so the idea of having a companion like an AI companion, it's very safe. You don't have to feel like embarrassed. Oh my God, I had a bad dream. You can just tell it whatever it is, and it supports you and acknowledges you and helps you understand a little bit more about what's going on inside yourself.
So you can actually, if like in her case, she has a bad dream, she wakes up and she feels like she's still kind of in a dream state, but she can utilize the program and talk to it and explain what the dream was about, and get have AI give her some thoughts about what's going on with her and ways that she can maybe avoid them, kind of thing. Is that
Yeah, the
is
the
that
app is going to help unravel it for you and understand what's going on
I'm gonna have
inside
to
of
get
you.
I'm gonna have to get this app, Alan, which is called KiFlow, and
KI Flow,
KI Flow.
yes,
And
it's in both app stores right now. It's very affordable. You can just do a 7-day free trial, and just check it out for free and see, how it works.
now, is it an app that you just put on your phone?
Yeah, it's designed for your phone, yes. I mean,
Perfect.
you can use it on your computer or your iPad also, but it's mainly designed for your phone.
That's I'm gonna have to get that for her so that maybe it will calm her down, because then she also tends to get migraines, and all that, and a lot of it is a self-induced stress about things that are going on in her life, other people, other stuff. It had become exhausting. I tell you, and then she talks to me about some of the things. It's exhausting, Alan. I got it's just exhausting.
Well, the first step is learning how to breathe. I mean, we teach breath work in our app, that if you just you have the two nervous systems. One is your sympathetic nervous system, one is your parasympathetic. By learning how to breathe consciously, you move from your stress nervous system into your calm nervous system. So, learning how to breathe, most people just do shallow breathing and breathe through their mouth. But if you learn how to breathe through your nose and into your belly, that immediately can shift all of your energy into a more calm state. So breathing is a very important tool to learn how to do. I mean, obviously, breathing is going on unconsciously, but if you learn how to consciously breathe, that can immediately help you.
And through your 10 years of meditation training, that taught you a great deal, I would imagine.
I've been meditating for like 50 years, but yes,
I know, and but
but I
there was a
meditate every day. It's my foundation. It just start the day from a really centered place, and then
and
everything goes more smoothly.
and just so I don't slaughter your last name again, Alan
Imbarrato.
Imbarrato, and is Keyflow's and is that the same website that I can reference, or is that secondary?
That's a different website, keyflow.app.
KiFlow.app. Go there, check.
KiFlow.app. Yes.
Go there, check it out. We need to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. You are a fascinating man. Did you know that?
Well, thank you, Kevin. Thank you.
And we'll be right back. Here's another point to ponder by Positive Talk Radio. A woman spent years hating the reflection in her mirror. One day, she whispered, "I am enough." Day by day, her reflection became her friend. Self-love begins with the words you tell yourself. Speak gently, because you are listening. This is brought to you by Positive Talk Radio, where stories of hope come alive. Here's another point to ponder by Positive Talk Radio. In a dark room, a single candle was lit. That tiny flame chased away the shadows, filling the space with hope. Your courage, your kindness, and your light may seem small at times, but it can change someone's entire world. Never underestimate the power you already carry inside. Even the smallest flame can ignite a fire that transforms lives. You are listening to Positive Talk Radio, where stories of hope come alive. And welcome back to Positive Talk with Kevin McDonald and Alan Imbarrato. Thank you. He is here, and go to both of his websites, and which are again
KiFlow.app for the app that helps transform stress into flow, and KeyBiz Systems that transforms your company to be more streamlined, efficient, productive, and profitable.
And you can use both of these apps because you can use the business app so that you can get everything organized so that you're less stressed in that, and then you can use KiFlow to get rid of the rest of the stress so you can have a really good life, to live your life the way you want to, and to become more creative and decide how that your life has true meaning in the things that you want to be able to do, rather than, and this probably has never happened to you, Alan, but a lot of people in our audience today, their work week doesn't start on Monday morning. It starts sometime on Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, with them saying to themselves, "Dang, I got to go to work tomorrow. I don't want to go to work tomorrow. I hate going to work tomorrow." And so they ruin half of their weekend because they're concerned about going to work on Monday, and it ain't even Monday yet. So stress is a major thing, and it affects people in profound ways. Their marriage, their relationship with their kids, their relationship with their dog that they don't have to kick anymore, all that kind of good stuff. Don't you think?
That pretty much sums it up, Kevin. Very good.
Well, and that's the whole idea. And I gotta ask you, does anybody ever walk up to you and say, "Geez, Alan, you're pretty smart. You got any new ideas that I can steal from you?"
I've gotten that, yes.
I can only imagine. But I think it's great. And you're my age or a little older, because I was 18 in 75 when Vietnam ended, so I may be just a touch younger than you. But you've
74.
had, you're what?
74.
Oh, stop it! You don't look 74. You still got your hair. What's up with that?
I don't know. I just have my hair.
It must be the stress reduction and the app that you're using. And by the way, if you want to regrow your hair, no, I wouldn't ever say that, because, but do you have any other new projects that you can't tell me about, but you have, that's rattling around in your brain?
Well, we create these AI workflows that help do intake and set appointments. We do all various ways of transforming using AI, which is in addition to the software that we do with KeyBiz. So AI workflows is the thing that we're really focusing on now.
A lot of people are concerned. They're worried about AI, that it's going to take over the world and it's going to ruin us all. Are they overstating it?
Get on board, because AI is here to stay. The people that are going to really survive are the people that embrace it and learn how to use it and learn how to make it your friends. Our phrase is human brilliance combined with artificial intelligence is going to enable you to survive better. But you're not going to, survive if you don't really understand that AI is really based on human intelligence and combining with artificial intelligence.
Well, and you've been listening to some of the shorts that I've been playing, and I love them. And I have to tell you that a lot of them are written by either me or my assistant in conjunction with AI. And we start with a premise, and then it produces the results of that premise, and then we refine it, and then we refine it some more until we get it exactly. And that's not quite right. Let's do this instead until we get it exactly the way we would have wanted to do it, but we're using words that we may not have thunk of at the time. Thunk of? Maybe not. Think, and so it can become very, very valuable tool to get your points across in a positive way. Does that make sense?
That's an excellent example of collaboration that I'm talking about. Yes, I do. I use it the same way. I mean, AI was very helpful in creating my app, and AI helps me create the ads for the app. AI helps me create the videos. So, but I do a lot of tweaking. So I would say AI gets you 70 to 80% down the road, but I have to do the last 20 or 25%.
And that really, when people start thinking, "Oh no, it's going to take my job, and I'm not going to have," and that's really not the case. We just need to get familiar with it and to be able to use it as a tool, like any other tool that we have. Only this one is just really pretty intelligent, and it does cut your work time down to a great degree because I can do one of these in a half hour, which may have taken me 2 hours to sweat over the exact same thing to write and all that kind of stuff. So it works out well.
Well, the key skill that's going to enable you to survive your job is developing your prompt engineering skills, just learning how to create the right prompts. That's going to enable you to keep your job more
Yeah,
than anything else. But if you're in denial or you're turning away from it or just wish it went away, that's going to get you in trouble.
exactly. Alan, we've run out of time. It's great to talk to you. You're you know, is brilliant too strong a word?
I don't know. Thank you, Kevin.
You could just say thank you. You did say and thank you and accept it because I think you're brilliant in everything that you're doing, and congratulations because you're working to help humanity in a myriad of ways, both business wise and stress wise and personally. So thank you for the work that you're doing. Is there anything else that you'd like to add to our conversation before we go?
It's important just to make a project every day out of improving yourself and getting stronger mentally, emotionally, spiritually. That's going to enable you to have a happy and fulfilled life. So, having a daily practice of mindfulness or meditation or exercise, just do something for yourself is going to create a much stronger foundation for you to then excel and think bigger and create amazing results in your life.
By the way, what's your dog's name?
Kitaro, he's a Japanese Akita.
Ah, Kataro is telling me to tell you, Alan, Daddy, we got to go outside now.
Yeah, every day at 4 o'clock, he starts punching me. Time for my walk. Time for my walk.
He knows that you get lost in thought and stuff, and so he's insistent, and so I'll let you go do that. And Alan Imbassar, oh, give me your last name again, Alan.
Kevin, come on. You had it right at the beginning.
I
Uh,
know, but that was so long ago.
Imbarrato. Okay.
Imbarrato, and I see I can mimic it well. Alan Imbarrato from kbizsystems.com and also kflow.app, and go there, get both of those things. I'm going to get that for my friend because I think she needs to get her stress down. So
All right. Well,
thank
let me
you,
know how
Alan.
that goes.
I will. Trust me. You have a great day, my friend.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you for being part of Positive Talk with Kevin McDonald, where stories inspire and voices remind us of what truly matters. May today's conversation give you hope, courage, and a reason to keep moving forward. And just remember, till next time, be kind to one another because each other's all we've got.